Everybody, Rose Matter here, and welcome to my reaction and discussion for episode 2 of Black Lagoon. First of all, thank you so much for your positive reception to the first episode. For a lot of you guys, this is kind of like a trip down memory lane. Watching Black Lagoon for the first time in almost 20 years. It came out, I believe, in 2006. So for a lot of you, this is kind of like a nostalgic rewatching of Black Lagoon. But for some of you, it is a first watch, like it is with me, and I hope you're enjoying it so far. I am. The first episode was a very good introduction to the world of Black Lagoon, and especially its characters. The synopsis is that a young salaryman named oh my gosh, I was like, remember his name, Rokuro, I believe is his name. People told me not to worry too much about remembering his name. They call him Rock, which is a heck of a lot easier to remember, but he had some information from his company. It was in a disc. It turns out that they are secretly helping to make nuclear weapons, and it got intercepted by some pirates, and that's where we are introduced to some of our other main characters, Dutch, Revy, and Benny. So they're the ones who basically have kidnapped Rokuro, and we're going to ransom him off, and his company has decided instead to send other mercenaries to take him out and get the disc back. So they don't care about him, and he's had this realization that like all of this work that and dedication to this company, and this is how they repay him. So he's pissed. He's pissed at the whole situation. He's pissed at Revy and the gang for kidnapping him. He's pissed that he got caught up in this information, or in this in this situation, and then he's also pissed that his company just doesn't care about him at all. So I think he's going to, like they said that he's essentially a dead man, and his company said straight up like, we'll hold a funeral for you, and we basically want you to disappear off the face of the earth. So that is where we're at. So he's got nothing to live for, so I'm assuming he's probably going to shack up with the gang because he's got nowhere else to go. And it cut off in kind of an awkward way. People have said that this was basically like, it was one episode that got broken up into two parts, and that's why it ended in kind of a weird way. So we're going to see the conclusion to that episode and see how this part is going to end, and what's going to happen with him afterwards. I'm really excited to get back into the series. So let's go ahead and watch the episode, and I'll give you guys my thoughts afterwards. All right, episode 2, Mangrove Heaven. I guess we're shooting back between like regular life in Japan. This is what his life was like, and then shot to, oh yeah, this was like the opening. He's not there anymore, right? There was him walking along with him. Oh, he's gonna go down there and to check to see that the disc was returned, or at least destroyed. It's a little bit too nice right now. Where's... There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's what happened the last episode, was them shooting at him and him throwing that at the helicopter. I'm surprised they gave up so quickly. Okay. Well, you know that that's not going to be the last time they're going to be going after him. I'm glad that he's angry about this. I'm glad that he's not just being all upset and accepting, like he's actually pissed. I love her facial expression so much. I wonder if he's going to like join up with them because he wants to get revenge on his company. Right? Exactly. They pulled out too easily. Right? Yeah. I don't think it's just because they noticed he was there and they're like, oh, we don't want to kill this guy. Oh, huh. Maybe they want them to lead them somewhere. Oh, okay. So get them somewhere and just take them out there and just leave them for dead. Rather than out in the open where they could be found pretty easily, or at least they could escape. Okay, so they're kind of strifing. They're like basically trying to like steer them towards that area. I'm assuming they've got a plan though. Oh, never mind. So they're right where those guys want them. I they just talked about that, yeah. They're like, yeah, we already know. They're gonna have to turn around, right? I'd be like, I guess we live on this island now. Now, if this was like a video game, there would be a secret place behind that waterfall and they'd be totally fine. But no. Well, they got the torpedo, right? She mentioned the torpedo multiple times. Maybe they could use that. She's gonna like kick him or something. Yeah. Or get punched by Dutch. Like so the what the boss is coming just to make sure the job has been done. I wonder if Rokuro's gonna get to see him face to face and get his revenge on him. So they can't launch the torpedoes, they're just there. I mean, that was the mid 2000s, right? That's a word you don't hear very often these days. So he's pretty clever, actually. He's pretty quick on the uptake. I like that they made this guy competent. I love that he's just like immediately is like, instead of being a mild mannered salary man who's just freaking out, he's just immediately like, all right, let's meet this with violence. Let's go. I think he's going to fit in well with these guys. Maybe this is what he was meant to do. So they're calling him Rock already. Right? Yeah, at first I thought Rock was just going to be kind of like, oh, he's just the boring guy along for the ride. He's out of his element, but he's adjusted pretty quickly. Like he came up with the plan. He's ready to go. He's like, damn. So yeah, they were going to just drop him off somewhere. They said like, we'll just leave you somewhere cuz like we can't have you around, but I think they're going to be like, yeah, let's you stay with us, man. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh, smart. Okay. Oh, he's going to use it as a ramp. Is he using it as a ramp or a shield? Oh, it is. Yes. That's awesome. Probably wasn't expecting that. Oh, that's so cool. Nice. Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, shit. Yes. All right. This guy this guy's going to be fun. I didn't know what to think about him at first, but very quickly I was like, all right, he's going to fit right in with the crew. He's going to be a fun character. I thought he was going to be a little bit of a stick in the mud, but then again there were hints of it in the first episode. He was like went drink for drink with Revy. I said he got angry pretty quickly and uh, wasn't some sort of wilting flower. It's like a baby. He's found. Yeah. right? It's just like he's like, I can't go back to live a boring life. I mean, he can't anyway. He's dead as far as anybody else knows back in Japan. People said that this woman was pretty cool too. I mean, the scars, they tell a story. Oh, okay. That's the guy that was going on the plane. I was mistaken about that. I thought that that was okay. Oh, oh, that is him. Please punch him in the face. And he's like, fuck you. I'm not going with you. Okay, I was a little mixed up there. Okay. I think he was hoping for more of a reaction. It'd be like, oh, thought he was gonna, at least be surprised or anything. He said like basically fuck you to his boss, and he's just like, okay, do what you want. Yeah, it's pretty shitty. I don't know if his boss knew about that whole situation about like they were gonna kill him. I assume so. But yeah, like the fact that they were willing to kill him and then they'd be like, well, you come with us. So I wish if I had known that this was broken up, like this was basically like one episode kind of broken up into two parts, or at least that's the way it seemed, I would have just probably watched the whole episode in one go. But unfortunately, I didn't know that as I was watching it. We're at work. And he's just right back to being kind of a goober. She's like, let's go to plan B. It's playing like good cop, bad cop. The stocks. I love how he says he's at work, but I'm like, come on, man, he's so button up looking. Put on the Hawaiian shirt. I want to see it. Okay. Weird spot for it to end again. I assume that that's like the end of the. I feel like there's always. I've only watched 2 episodes, but it always ends kind of like abruptly. Maybe that's just for the first couple of episodes. But it was interesting. So they had that shot of like the boss at the end. It just seemed kind of inconsequential, especially if Rock is now like not an employee anymore. It's just kind of random, just be like, oh, here's his home life, and his son is not doing well at school, and his daughter is out late. It's just like, okay, I don't know if they're doing that to make him more of, like a relatable character. He's not just this corporate boss, but I'm assuming the boss is going to be a reoccurring character. Is Rock not done with him? Maybe that boss will, I don't know, try and get in contact with him again. He seemed very blasé about Rokuro just giving up and, quitting essentially. Uh, I just love how he couldn't have cared less. He's just like, okay, fine. You're, it's like, no skin off my nose, I guess. If you want to just go live your life, you're dead anyway, so what does it matter? But is he like not concerned at all about maybe Rock like telling people about the information he learned about the whole thing about the nuclear weapons? Ring ding ship chase. All right, so I guess if they're pirates, that means yes, they're going to be on a ship a lot, or on the sea a lot. But I want to see more of like the actual Black Lagoon, like that place that we saw very briefly in the first episode, that kind of like sea sea town that all of the miscreants kind of like gather at. I feel like that would be fun to see, like those characters and maybe them interacting with them. But yeah, like that was a good conclusion to the last parts. And something I can't believe I didn't mention in the first episode was the fact that I mentioned how this is my first reaction to a dubbed anime, and I thought it was going to be kind of weird, but the dubbing is so good. Like the voice acting is so good that I very quickly just kind of forgot about it. It was odd sometimes for me to not have subtitles to read, but I just took to it so quickly because it seemed so natural. And I think someone commented about Revi, the voice of Revi. She actually does a lot of kind of more child shows, or definitely shows that are not this mature. So it's definitely a weird, like for her to go, maybe was she doing like My Little Pony? I don't think it was My Little Pony, but it was like she was doing like kid shows essentially. And then she does this. Or maybe she did Revi and then she did kind of like more child shows, but either way, it's kind of hilarious. Uh, but I could see her kind of voice working for a lot of different types of animation. But all the voices are really good, and I'm really impressed with how natural it seems to be. Like it's not weird to me at all to listen to it. It just feels like it's almost this is the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, I can't believe I didn't mention it, but the dub is excellent. And I like all the characters so far. I want to know more about that blonde woman. I can't remember her name. I think it starts with a B. She's got kind of a strange name. But what little I know of the characters, like especially Rock, like he definitely has come into his own. I like how quickly he established himself as like, he's a little out there as well. He's a little crazy. For him to come up with that plan so quickly shows that he is intelligent. And yeah, he panics a bit because this is way out of his element, but he very quickly took to it and he realizes, like, I don't want to just be a businessman. It's like, I can't go back to that life. He can't go back to it anyway because he's dead for all intents and purposes. But he's like, this kind of works for me. This feels very natural. And then he goes right back to being kind of like a goober at the end. But I like he had some cool moments with like, you know, the cigarette and then the shirt was kind of disheveled and the hair was all out of place. I'm like, all right, he's pretty cool actually. And I'm definitely like interested to see them together. Revy and him have a little bit of a combative relationship so far. But she seems to be combative with everybody, so that's not saying much. But it looks like the next episode we're going to have kind of more pirate situation already. Like I don't know if this is happening right after like this whole situation, but they're already like being attacked by someone else. Maybe it was whoever they like that ship that they overtook. Like maybe they're coming back for revenge. But yeah, we're gonna get more like sea adventures. But I want them to go back to Black Lagoon sometime soon. But yeah, the fact it was called like Ring-a-Ding Ship something. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a ship episode. Also, I really like that the action moment. It was so cool with like them using that ship as a ramp and then it was like Chekhov's torpedo. They kept hinting at it over and over like, hey, that's a torpedo, stop kicking it, or like, be careful around it. So they had to use it. Of course they did. So I love the fact that they came up with that plan. And Revy and Dutch were just like kind of on board with it, like, all right, it's crazy, but we don't have any other plan. So like they just saw him as a hostage, but very quickly they realized like, hey, this guy, he's actually pretty smart, so we should probably listen to him. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, and definitely seems like there's going to be some action in the next episode. And let's see, hopefully we get Rock in the Hawaiian shirt. I want to see that at some point. He definitely needs some new clothes because that's not pirate attire. So yeah, enjoying it so far. So stay tuned next week for episode 3. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye guys. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Emily Hornsby, Salieri, Zoran Ether, Amdere, Revealing Storm, Icognito, Asborn Kennedy, Harry Gazif, Jared Fan, and Saturn Sins.